One of the things I've talked about over the last, really over the last year doing this channel is pitching in particular. You can get a good pitcher from your minor league system, or you can get somebody at the major league level, just sort of all of a sudden just it clicks and it happens. We've seen this with the Mets a few times over the last 10, 15 years, where pitchers have come out of nowhere and they become dominant pitchers. We saw that with Jacob deGrom, obviously, and we saw that with R.A. Dickey for a while. That's the one thing that's great about baseball is position players not so much, but with pitching, a guy can come out of nowhere. Look at Reed Garrett. Now, Reed Garrett, I don't trust him, but he's pitched poorly in the major leagues, but he's pitched really good for the Mets. And that's how baseball can be sometimes. And we're going to get into this video. And, of course, this is the prospect. I'd hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk about Brandon Sproat, who looks like he could be, I don't know, could be a star, for all we know. This is from Mets Memorized Online. This is their weekly report. Headline, Brandon Sproat continues dominance in Binghamton. And you won't get this kind of stuff. I will look online everywhere for all these different things about the Met prospects and minor leaguers. So you're not on X, you're not on Twitter, you don't go through all these different websites on Google or any kind of search engine. I'll have that here. So hit that subscribe button. You'll learn all about these Mets players. And there's no analysis here. There's no commentary here, very rarely. It's all about information for you. It's very dry, this channel. It's not nearly as fun as the other channels, but that's what the purpose of this particular baseball at 3 as it would be. But this is the prospect type. The first week of the second half of the season saw Syracuse win their series while Binghamton and Brooklyn lost theirs. St. Lucie drew a walk. Syracuse was powered by Carlos Cortez, who had a brilliant week at the plate, but Brandon Sproat also had a fantastic with 6 scoreless innings. Of note, while Monday is usually the long off day of the week, well, it doesn't matter for this purpose of this video. This is their issue. AAA. Syracuse Mets started the second half of the season on a high note, winning 4 of 6 games in their series against the Buffalo Bisons. The Mets were fantastic in the first half with a 46-28 record, and are now 4-2 to start the second half. Overall, they're at 50-30. Carlos Cortez had a fantastic week, recording 12.23 OPS in 6 games. He went 10 for 25 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs, also scoring 5 runs. Cortez raised his season OPS to 886 and is playing much better of late. Over his last 12 games, his OPS is 1128. Brett Beatty also hit 3 home runs against Buffalo. He went 7 for 26 and also scored 4 runs. Beatty continues to match since his demotion. He now sports a 1026 OPS. In Syracuse, Pablo Reyes hit 2 home runs himself. He's looking like a great depth pickup for David Stearns, who traded cash for him in late May. Reyes went 5 for 18 this week. Also recorded 3 walks. In addition to his 2 long balls, his OPS for Syracuse is now sitting at 872. That's a player they picked up from Boston. Ryland Bannon hit 2 home runs as well, and he walked 5 times in contrast, striking out 3 times. Bannon has a 958 OPS for the week, which raised his season OPS to 869. Syracuse received great starting pitching as well, with the most impressive outings coming from Dom Hamill, who was a graded prospect, Joey Lucchesi, and Jose Buta, who obviously was recalled to the majors for Tuesday's game and got the win in relief. Hamill struck out 9 in 7 innings of work, and he only allowed 3 runs earned. It was an impressive outing for the struggling Hamill, whose season ERA in Syracuse is 6.64. Lucchesi allowed 2 runs in 6 1/3 innings of work while striking out 8. Buta allowed 2 runs in 7 innings while striking out 5. Casey's AAA ERA is currently 4.46, while Buta is a much better 3.05. Of note, top pitching prospect Christian Scott is being recalled for Wednesday, start for the Mets versus the Nationals. Binghamton Rome Ponies and Portland Sea Dogs only played 5 games as one of their matchups was postponed due to inclement weather. That robbed the Rome Ponies of a chance to tie the series, as they fell 3-2. It was a tough offensive series for both teams, as Portland outscored Binghamton 16-12. Woofa. In the 5 games, Binghamton is now 2-3 in the second half of the season, 37-35 overall. Given the Rumble Ponies managed to score just 12 runs in 5 games, there weren't many standout performances at the plate. Ryan Clifford was the only Binghamton batter to homer this week, and he went just 2 for 14 at the plate. The best hitter at the plate during Binghamton's series with Portland was J.T. Schwartz, who went 6 for 12. He also walked 4 times and struck out just twice. Schwartz raised his OPS on the season to 804. Brandon Sproat threw 6 shutout innings in his start last week, and he continues to pitch like a top 100 prospect in all of baseball. He actually just cracked MLB Pipeline's list. Also, like I would mention, he was a highly rated player in the college. The Mets drafted him twice. They liked him so much they drafted him in 2022, and then drafted him again last year. He's going to the Major League Futures game, and he's going to have a chance to play that Sunday before the Major League All-Star game. That's where all these young players go when they meet. And a lot of times it's USA versus international teams, and it's always an interesting game, and you get to see all these great major leaguers before they're major leaguers. We've seen Pete Alonso there, Jose Reyes, David Wright, Noah Syndergaard was there in 2013 and pitched. Brandon Nimmo was there. A lot of future Met players played in that. Justin Jarvis also continues to pitch really well as he went 4 2/3 innings without allowing a run in his start. He allowed 5 hits and a walk while striking out 5, lowering his AA ERA 2.90. Nolan McLean has struggled mightily both at the plate and on the mound since the promotion to Binghamton. But he had a great outing on the mound this week. He allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings, allowing 6 total base runners and striking out 5. His ERA in Binghamton is now 6.07. Now, Nolan McLean is a guy that could be considered a bullpen piece down the road, but we'll see. He is a kid that needs a little work, and he might not be an everyday player. He might not be a DH or bat. He's probably more of a looked at as a power reliever. That's been his trajectory, his future, his how people look at him. It does very hard. High A Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Cyclones had a brutal week against the Aberdeen Ironbirds, dropping 5 games of their 6-game set. They were outscored 37-24, with 10 of the 24 runs coming in the final game of the series, which also happened to be a loss. The Cyclones have hovered around 500 for most of the season, but have struggled mightily of late. In the second half of the season, they're 2-7 and are now 35-40. Oh boy. Well, Jesus Baez made his high A debut this past week. He fared really well. Baez went 6 for 21 for a home run and 2 doubles. He also scored 3 runs and stole a base. His OPS for the week was 810 after having a 782 OPS with St. Lucie to start the season. Wilfredo Lara didn't hit much this week, but he demonstrated good plate discipline, going 4 for 17 for a home run and 5 RBI and 5 walks. His OPS for the week of 821 raised his season number 657. Nick Morabito went 7 for 20 in 5 games played, recording a double, a walk, and 2 stolen bases. Morabito's OPS still, since joining Brooklyn, is now 772 after he had a scorching start to the season in Port St. Lucie. Nick DeRusso, arguably Brooklyn's best hitter this year, only went 3 for 18 this week, but he walked 6 times and struck out just 3 times. He also hit a home run and recorded 4 RBIs and stole a base. His season OPS is now 850. Brooklyn saw a trio of brilliant starting pitching performances this week. Jonah Dong is really settling into high A now, as demonstrated by his latest performance. He allowed run in 6 innings, striking out 11. He had a couple of bad performances in a row, but he now has a 1.69 ERA with 21 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. His ERA of Brooklyn is 3.38. That's not bad. Dakota Hawkins continued his strong season with a 6-inning outing, which he didn't allow a run. I would mention about Jonah Dong. That's an example of a guy that wasn't on any prospect list, and he's probably going to start getting on these lists by the end of the season, if not in the next few weeks. Especially after the draft, they start to reevaluate what players got drafted, where they are on these different lists. So that's a player that you need to keep an eye on in terms of just being rated. He hasn't been rated yet. Dakota Hawkins, the former undrafted prospect, now has a 3.71 ERA in Brooklyn. Cade Morris also went 6 innings, allowing 2 runs and striking out 8. Morris has a 4.5 ERA in 7 starts with Brooklyn, but his last 2 starts have been quality starts of 6 innings. Low A St. Lucie. Colin Houck had a bit of a breakout week as he went 7 for 23 with a double, a homer, and 4 RBIs. His OPS for the week was 838 and raised his OPS for the season to 634. He's struggling a little bit. He's the Mets' #1 pick last year. They're going to take their time when he's 19 years old. There's no rush. I know some lists have not been too kind to him, very unfairly. Boston Barrow has also had a good week at the plate, going 9 for 27. He didn't slug much, as 8 of his 9 hits were singles. The other hit being a double. Still, Barrow hit 333 for the week and raised his OPS on the year to 737. A.J. Ewan, on the other hand, showed off more power by going 5 for 19, with 3 of his hits being doubles. He also drove in 3 batters, walked twice, and stole a base. On the year, he has an OPS of 703. Florida Complex League Mets. Skip to the players. Jake Sotelo had a good week. Had a double, triple, home run, 792 OPS. Jeremy Rodriguez had a 535 OPS, not very good. And Simon Juan struggled mightily, and so did Jeremy Rodriguez. Juan has been great this year and has had an 817 OPS, while Rodriguez is still underwhelming with a 726 OPS. Well, he's 817 years old. Got to be a little bit patient with him. Let's see. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, I really don't want to dive too deeply into different names here, but you let me know what you think about this video. But again, Brandon Sproat, Jonathan, these are guys that, especially Jonathan, was not rated before the season. He's going to be hitting all these different lists now in the next few weeks. So I will talk about him. Hopefully we'll have a scanning report on him that we'll discuss here. He's a very exciting young player, and really he's in Brooklyn right now. He's probably 2 years away. But that's an example, as well as Brandon Sproat. Brandon Sproat is going to be a big player discussed a lot in spring training next year. And I think he could be, the way he's pitched like a star in the minor league. So I would mention also that he was a 4-year player from college, because when he didn't sign the Mets contract last year, 2 years ago, he went back to college last year and pitched fairly well. And the Mets liked him so much they redrafted him. So this happens. This is very interesting to me. Hope it's interesting to you. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.